planners and bullet journals, art projects, organized planner chic. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Organized Planner Chic. I'm Lucinda, and if you haven't subscribed already, please do so and select the bell for notifications. Well, first, I want to thank all my Patreon members who help make it possible to create videos like this. Well, thank you so much. And if you're interested in supporting me on Patreon, just go to patreon.com/organizedplannerchic. Okay, you guys, I'm just finished laying out all of the different things that I'm going to use or plan to use for embellishing the spine today. I'm so excited. First, I need to remove the ribbon because it's going to be in the way since we're going to be working on the spine, and I don't want to damage it as well. And so first, what I decided to do is reinforce the spine, but because when I stitched it first, I used really thin embroidery thread. I mean, it's like half as thick as what I normally use, and I just didn't have a peace of mind about it. You know how something is like that, like you think about it throughout the day and you're like, this is stupid. Let me just go and take care of this so I can quit worrying about it. So I just went through and stitched another set of thread through all of the I want to call them inserts, but that's not what they're called, signatures. So I went back and did that for each signature, and I'm just going to tie a knot and then bunny ears and all of that stuff just like I did previously. So I'm going to tie one knot here, and then I'm going to take the thread. What was I doing right there? Okay, there we go. Then I'm going to take the thread and bring it underneath the other threads from whenever I stitched the signatures, and then when I stitched the signatures to the spine previously. Gosh, tongue twister there. And now I'm taking the bunny ears that I tied this time and tying them to the previous sets of bunny ears, and now everything is really secure. And there you can see that I have more than one set of thread going through each hole. And now I feel really confident that my spine is nice and secure with my signatures. Okay, now I just want to put a hole at the top because I want to have some dangling embellishments. And so at first I thought I would go through and add to the dangling pieces, you know, do some stitching and all that, but I thought, no, I need to get this hole situated first. So I measured, it's about an inch in the middle from the sides, and I had to be careful because my holes for my signatures weren't quite centered on the spine, but I wanted my hole to be centered for the dangling things, otherwise it would look kind of weird. So I had to be careful not to punch through the signature. And I always use my little awl first because it has a really sharp point, and then the bigger one to make a bigger hole. And because I'm not using grommets, I decided to use some glue to really secure the hole to keep it from fraying, and you know, tucked the material in. And I didn't want to wait for it to dry, so I just used a hair dryer just like I do whenever I'm watercoloring, and I don't want to wait for it to dry before I do another layer. So yeah, and then I went ahead and added some glue to the hole in the inside too, just to make sure everything is nice and secure and not frayed, and that it'll all look neat in the end. That way I don't have to go back later and do that, you know. Just do it now. And of course I'm drying it again here, so I don't have to wait. And now I'm going to go ahead and lay out all of the different dangling things that I want to put through that hole. So that big pink piece there was the hem of a workout shirt, and so was that light green one. Yeah, you know, I didn't buy anything to add to this. I just used stuff that I already had at home, which worked out perfectly. And now I am putting out a couple of bracelets that I got from my daughter, and some crafters floss or embroidery thread, but the package for that said crafters floss because it wasn't on a big spool, you know, thing like embroidery thread comes in. It was in those little, you know, just little sections that you can get in a little plastic bag, like at the dollar store. And so I laid them all out, and I thought I would, you know, bring these all together and run them through the hole, but my hole is way too small for that. Oops, I'm sorry about that. I had an alarm go off. My bad, you guys. And so now I'm looking at that and going, I need to have a lot fewer things going through here. And then I realized I can't get any of this stuff to run through here together. It's not going to work. So I started doing one little piece at a time. So now I tied that bracelet and that worked out just fine. Just double knotting it because again, I don't want it to come out later. I might have triple knotted that, I don't know. Now this one, the string on the ends was too short for me to run through the hole and back through and then knot it, so I just tied this around the other bracelet that was hanging, and that worked out just fine. And now for the purple crafter's floss, I was able to bring those together and just put like a little bead of glue on the end, and then or twist them, put a little bit of glue, you know, twist that, and I was able to run those all together at one time through the hole. That worked out perfectly. Just had to trim a little bit so it was easy to run through there. And voila, there we go. And because this is long and I trimmed it really long, I pulled it all the way through and I was able to have, you know, double the amount of string. So I had 6 long pieces of string, but then I pulled it through that far, so I wound up with 12, so that was nice. And I'm just pulling the little ends apart because they had glue on them. And now I was able to do the same thing with the pink yarn. This is pink yarn here. And that's how it looks so far, which is really cute. I could have left it like that, but I still want to add those other pieces. But it is cute. The colors are working well together. So now I'm like, how am I supposed to make this work? Because these are way too big. There's like no room left in the hole. But I wanted them so bad. I was like, it just will look so perfect. The colors will all work. So then what I wound up doing is just taking the first one and knotting it right under where all of the other ones were knotted. And that worked out perfectly. So I'm going to tie the knot here. And then I almost did the same thing with the pink. You can't really see. I'll show you here in a moment kind of where it is, but I just knotted it above. Well, no, that's not right. I ran it underneath the other thread above where the green one is knotted. That's the best way I can say it. You can kind of see there. Yeah, and that way everything laid down really nicely. And I'm so happy with the way it looks there. So now I just need to add some embellishments to all of those little dangly things. So I'm just pulling out some beads and buttons, and I thought I'd just kind of look and see what colors I thought would look nice on those big pieces of fabric. And then I stitched them all off camera while I listened to Netflix. And there they all are, and I'm so excited. I'm so happy with how they look. I went with yellows, pinks, whites, and greens are kind of the mint color for the buttons. And I think it just came out so nicely. I didn't want to put too much so that I could add other embellishments later if I wanted to. And I think this is just perfect. It's so fun and so me. And so now I just need to add something to the spine in the center. At least that's what I wanted to do. And so originally I thought I was going to use this, which I cut out of some fabric, some vintage fabric, but I wound up not liking that. And I'm sorry, I don't know what happened here, but my footage just froze. But I'm going to tell you what's going on. So I was laying this around there and it just didn't match to me. The colors are beautiful and the flowers are beautiful, but they're very vintage looking, kind of more of a warm tone, you know, kind of almost has a darkness to it or sadness to it, whereas the cover and all the dangly things are really light and airy and pastel and fun. And so I said, nope, let's do something else. So then I found this other fabric that I had at home. Again, all this stuff I already had at home, which is a floral vintage, really pretty country vintage floral style of fabric, and so I'm just using some Mod Podge to put glue there, and I want it to just go to the edge of that original kind of blush pink spine, and then I'm going to really overdo it. I mean, I didn't. I mean, it's fine, but I was just really being a perfectionist about how I wanted the glue to look as it was drying, which is something else. And you know, that's true. Sometimes you can put too much glue in a spot with Mod Podge and it'll dry like this little white mountain, and I didn't want that. But I also wanted to make sure all the little edges weren't frayed at all and that everything was nice and smooth and pretty. But I kind of did that too long. And then I'm going to turn it over and do that on the back, but it was a little too long because I didn't want it to go past, again, that pastel or that blush pink spine, so I just trimmed it. And then I did the same thing with the Mod Podge there, and I also put Mod Podge on the center part as well. And then that's how it all looks, you guys. I'm so excited. I think it is so pretty. I think the colors work really well, and I think that just little bit of blue background with that vintage country floral print is just so soft and sweet and delicate and so me. I'm so happy with it. I love all the dangly pieces. I love all the colors. I feel like they work really, really well. I like how the back looks. It looks so nice and simple but elegant, and which is something else because this is a junk journal. And then, you know, especially with the tie there with the lace, I love it. Well, thank you guys so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe and comment and share. It really helps my channel out a lot. Also, you can check me out on Instagram at Organized Planner Chic, where I post all of my creative ventures and adventures. Also, I have 2 Facebook groups. The local one is called Phoenix Planner Friends for Christ, and there we meet in person normally, but we can't right now because of the coronavirus, but we normally meet in person once a month and have lots of planner fun, and then we post different things here and there on the Facebook group, so we're posting more right now. And then the Facebook group for anyone around the world is called Organized Planner Chic Crew, and there we do giveaways, and we try to stay in touch just about every day with posts and videos and lives. And if you're interested in supporting me on Patreon, just go to patreon.com/organizedplannerchic. And until next time, happy planning!